Hey, what's happening YouTube? Anybody that's been watching my videos in the past probably realizes that I don't have any videos up right now. So I'm basically revamping the videos and doing you know, a little something different. But today's video is going to be about the comparison between my 2016 Road King. It has a 103 engine. It's got cruise control. It's got hard bags. It's got the heel toe shifter. It has passenger and driver floorboards. It has the bag protectors. It also has the engine guard. It also has self-counseling blinkers, which most Harley Davidsons do. And this is the bike that I have been riding for a little while now. It's a nice bike. I really like it. I've added 18-inch 8s on it. Added the lower fairing. And that's about it. Well, Mustang seat. And the stereo system. Stereo system is something I'll probably do a separate video on. There's a lot of videos on it already. It's the Lexan speakers, and they got the built-in amps and all that stuff. And they do have the lights. Like you can hook them up to your blinkers and have blinkers or whatever. But this video here is mainly going to focus on the difference between that bike and this bike. This is an 09 Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Nomad. This bike has basically got exactly the same thing I just told you over there, other than the passing lamps on the front. It don't have that. Harley does, and that's fine. I mean, you can add those, you can add lights somewhere later. Not a real big issue for me. It's got the hard bags, got the heel toe shifter, got electronic cruise control, self-counseling blinkers, which is not very common on a Japanese motorcycle, but this one does have it. Got LED tail light. It's got the incandescent blinkers, which my Harley does too, so not a whole lot of difference there. It's got a 6-speed transmission, which that one does too. Like I said, it's not a whole lot of difference. So this video is mainly going to be about the comparison between the Road King and the Kawasaki. And the reason I'm doing that is because basically the 1700 is a 103. Harley has a 103. Both of these bikes, as far as comparison, is pretty much the same. The difference is
someone's at your door.
I still owe $16,000 on this bike. Harley Davidson ain't cheap. I mean, everybody knows that. I picked this bike up a week ago for $4,250. $4,250 paid for, and it's mine. Got the title. You know, I don't have to do anything with this bike. It's paid for. It's, you know, whatever I do from here on out, just add-ons. That bike there, I know my credit's not real great, but the payments are around $500 a month. And I think I still got probably about 3.5 years left on it. So my whole thing is as much as I love Harley Davidson, and I really do, I love the nostalgia of a Harley. You know, it's where we come from. That's why I like Harley so much. But when it comes to the price and value, you're basically getting the same bike here for less money, way less money, like less than a third of the cost of what the Harley costs. And I get it, you know, Harley's unique. It's got a specific sound. It's got the history. I mean, that's why people, they love Harley Davidsons, or that's the reason I fell in love with them anyway. But my thing is when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, this bike basically is going to perform the same as that bike. I can add a seat, I can add apes, lights, you know, whatever I want to this bike. It's going to be basically the same as this. So I'm basically just trying to save myself some money, and at the end of the day, all I want to do is ride. As much as I love the Harley Davidson, and I do, when it comes down to it, this is what's going to, you know, make it easier on me as far as money goes, and I'm still going to get the same amount of pleasure out of the bike because I just enjoy riding. But I'll go into more detail here in a little bit. Right now I got to make some changes. I'm gonna take the highway pegs off, put them on there. I'm gonna take the stereo system off of that, put it on there, and I'm gonna end up putting the stock seat back on because I'm gonna try to sell that Mustang seat separate. That's basically $1,000 seat, and you just don't get that back out of a bike. I'm not asking anybody to pay me any equity on the bike. I'm just looking for somebody to take over the payments. So I can't let the seat go with it. I got a brand new Harley Davidson seat, which is in this box. I mean, I'm not trying to give nobody a raggedy used seat. I really ain't. This is actually a brand new Harley Davidson seat that came off a 2021 Road Glide that I no longer have. And I'm going to be putting this seat back on the Harley Davidson. Still got the strap, just in case, you know, somebody wants the strap or whatever. I probably won't put the strap on. I'll probably just put it in the bags. And if somebody wants to add it later, they can or whatever. I think the screws are still here. No, they're not. That's where the strap goes. The screw's gone. But anyway, you know, you can find a screw. No big deal. I'm gonna put that back on, and I'm gonna probably sell, well, I am gonna sell the Mustang seat separate. So anybody interested in the Mustang seat, and I mean basically brand new with the backrest. She got a little dirt on it, but you know, just needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But it's basically brand new. I haven't put a whole lot of miles on it, but I'm gonna try to get 700 out of it. It's like $1,000 seat, so it is the studded one, because whenever I bought it, that was the only seat they had available at the time. I bought it during all the pandemic stuff and all that, and you know, it was hard to get stuff at that time, so I ended up just getting that because it was in stock, and I wanted to replace the seat because, to be honest with you, a Harley's stock seat is not good. Not for me anyway. It might be for other people, but you know, you can put the backrest on this one too. Have to buy it separate, and I think it's probably in the 250 to 300 range, maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. I got the backrest for this. This is a stock seat, but I got the backrest for it off of Amazon for 85 bucks. I mean, probably ain't a good quality seat. Probably won't last long, but just to get me by for now, that's what, you know, I had to buy. And if the stock seat's comfortable, I'll just keep it on there. I mean, I'm all about riding, so if I go an hour down the road and I can't handle it, I'll change the seat out. It's just what I'll probably end up doing. But thinking about going with Corbin, not sure. The seat that I want is heated. Got the driver's backrest and everything. Got the passenger and driver's seat is going to be heated on it. It's like $1,300, $1,400, I think. So we'll see. If this is going to work fine, then that's what I'll stick with. She's so far I rode a few miles, and it's pretty comfortable. It's a smooth bike. And you know, I'll tell y'all about some of the upgrades I'm planning on doing. But for right now, you know, I'm just wanting to do a little comparison video. I've owned them both now, so you know, I haven't owned this long term, but it seems to be a good bike. The reviews that I've seen on it, everybody seems to talk pretty highly of it, so I'm gonna ride it for a while, check it out, see how I like it, add a few things to it. Like I said, I'll probably end up doing taller bars and maybe the seat, just depends. And we'll see what happens, see what goes on from there. If I hold on to this bike, I'm gonna do videos on all the upgrades, or I'm gonna try to, and we'll probably do the bar install, because I don't pay people to work on my bike. I mean, I do mechanic work for a living. It's car mechanic work, but still, you know, I do enough mechanic work that I kind of figure out what I need to do. And there's plenty of videos on stuff like this. If not, I got people I can call. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here, and I will update y'all whenever I get through making some modifications. Alright, so we're going to take a ride on the Kawasaki, and I'll tell you up front, my intentions when buying this bike was basically to get rid of the Harley Davidson. And now that I got both bikes and I'm paying the insurance for both bikes, believe it or not, the insurance is cheaper with two bikes. So I'm not really changing anything. So, you know, the payment's going to be the same, always has been, so that's not going to change. So my way of thinking is I might take and turn this bike into a solo bike, just something for me to ride whenever my wife's not with me. I ain't talking about doing a bobber or nothing like that, but you know, something similar to it, I guess. But the main thing is, when I bought this bike, I didn't know the insurance was going to be as cheap. So my initial thoughts were to buy this bike, get it where I want it, and sell the Harley Davidson. But in that situation, with the insurance being cheaper than what it was for one bike, I'm thinking seriously about keeping this one. But like I said, the payment's not going to change. So, you know, it wasn't never about the payments really. I got something flapping somewhere. Oh, it's my shirt. My sweatshirt's slapping me. But like I said, the similarities between these two bikes are really pretty crazy, because I mean, you basically got a 103 and a 103. You got cruise control. You got self-canceling blinkers. You know, it's got passenger and rider floorboards. It's belt drive, 6-speed transmission. There really is very little difference between the two bikes, other than one's a Harley Davidson and one's a Kawasaki. But from what I've heard, Kawasaki's will last a really long time, which I know there's some Harleys out there that do too. So I'm not knocking Harley by any means. Like I said before, and you know, I'll stand by it. I love my Harley Davidson. I was just trying to, you know, get something, pay cash for it, and then maybe use the extra money to fix it up. But I'm not sure if I need to do that. I do need to learn how to ride it though. That was supposed to be second gear. I know the one thing I will say is that it's definitely not as powerful as the Harley Davidson. The Harley seems to have just a little bit more power. Sorry about that, but that ain't an issue. I mean, the bike's got plenty of pickup and go. I'm not looking to go out there and do no drag racing or nothing like that, so that's never been an issue for me. But I know they say that you can do the Ivan's tune, and he'll get it, you know, working in the right place, you know, the right air to fuel ratio. He'll turn the temperature down a little bit, which is good because I live in South Carolina and it gets pretty damn hot in the summertime. So all of those are things to consider. I mean, I like the bike, it rides good, and if I'm going to be honest, it rides a little better than the Harley does. It don't seem to hit as hard, or it don't seem like the suspension is quite as stiff. And it seems to shift a little smoother too. So, you know, I have no issues with the bike at all. I'm not trying to put Harley down or nothing like that. I just wanted to get a bike that was reliable, was something I could pay cash for, and you know, if I get to a point to where I don't feel like riding and it's sitting in the shed, it's not going to hurt me. Which, I mean, the Harley is not going to hurt me either. It kills me to have something that I'm paying for, that I'm making monthly payments on, just sitting in the shed. I just do not like that. So what I plan on doing as of right now is not making any changes. I'm still making the payments on the Harley. I do have it listed for sale, or I've got it listed as taking over payments. So, you know, if somebody comes along and wants it and they can get it put in their name or whatever, I might let it go. But I'll talk with my wife a little more about it, see what she wants to do. We might keep both bikes because, you know, my son likes to ride, and he doesn't own a motorcycle. So if he ever wanted to ride, he could ride one of mine, and you know, he wouldn't have to worry about going out and buying a motorcycle. But I don't know just yet what we're going to do. My main reason for doing the video was to do a comparison between the two bikes, and I'm not gonna lie to you, that Harley Davidson to me is something I really like and I've always wanted. But there's nothing wrong with this bike. This bike runs good, it drives smooth. I mean, I just don't have any complaints about it. The only thing that I would change, like I said, is to have that tune put on it. I definitely want to do some taller bars and possibly a different seat, because this, even though the seat's pretty comfortable, I haven't been on a long ride with it, which might not be necessary. You know, if I don't plan on driving it all the time, then I'm not going to probably put a whole lot of miles on it. So I might just keep the stock seat. I did get a backrest for it the other day. That's like a factory backrest, but it was something I bought off of Amazon. It was only $85, so I went ahead and got it just to check it out, see what it was like. It's not as comfortable as a Mustang seat, I ain't gonna lie to you. The backrest is not as sturdy. You know, well, I mean, you're comparing a stock seat to a $1,000 seat, so it's a big difference. But one thing I will say is this is the most comfortable stock seat that I have ever ridden on. I haven't changed the exhaust on it yet either, which I'll be honest with you, it sounds pretty decent for a stock exhaust. I mean, it definitely ain't as loud as my Harley Davidson, and it definitely don't sound like a Harley Davidson, but it's got a pretty good sound to it. I think it does. So I'm gonna see what I can do as far as keeping both of them. I might not, but if I do, you know, I'll try whatever modifications I make to the bike. I'm gonna try to record it and put it up on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube, because there's not a whole lot of videos out there going over bar changes and stuff like that, because I guess with it being a Kawasaki, the parts are a little harder to find. I think a couple of videos I did find, the people were saying like you had to get bars off of Amazon by a company called RSC, and I think the tallest you can go with stock cables is like a 12-inch. What I've seen was a 12-inch meat hook. So that's something else to consider, I guess. I mean, probably not going to be able to find a whole lot to modify this bike with, but there's always customization. You know, I found a set of cables that'll go up to 16-inch on it. I just don't know if I can find the bars. But either way, I'll see what I can find down the road. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I got the little windshield extender, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I've got no buffing on my helmet at all, which, I mean, I shouldn't, I guess, because it's basically about level with the top of the helmet. And I have to look through the glass, but that don't bother me. I mean, I got microfiber towels on the damn motorcycle. If I need to wipe them down or whatever to clean them up, I can. That ain't no big deal. But I just like the fact that I'm riding and I ain't got this helmet buffeting like it was before on the Harley Davidson. I mean, it was so bad it would blur your vision. I didn't even want to ride with the helmet on. And that's got a lot to do with the reason why I haven't done any videos lately. And I know I took all my videos down, but the reason for that is the quality of them. I don't think they were very good videos, and I wasn't very consistent with them. So if I keep doing this, and I really want to, I just got to make the time to go do it. I mean, I can ride pretty much any day after work, as long as the weather's okay. So there's no reason why I can't make a video. For some reason, I just don't stay consistent for whatever reason. I used to when I first started YouTube. Like, I'd put out 1 or 2 videos a week, but I don't know, it just got to the point to where I didn't really, I would say I wouldn't have time, but that's not really true. I just got to the point where I didn't feel like doing it. I think a lot of it had to do with the setup on the bike. You know, every time I rode with the helmet, it was like buffeting real bad and stuff like that, and I just got to the point to where I didn't even try to wear the helmet, to be honest. If I went riding, I usually just rode without a helmet. But I want to get back into videos, but I want to do them right and I want to do them good. Like right now, I'm just assuming that the audio's got to be better because of the buffeting on the helmet's pretty much gone away. So I would imagine that the audio is going to be a lot better which is something I struggled with in the past. Even though I had a decent mic, a decent helmet, and all that, there was just always some kind of choppiness to the sound. And I know that's got a lot to do with the exhaust and all that, but I think it had a lot more to do with the buffeting of the helmet. So hopefully I got all that straight now. I'll find out when I edit this video, but I'll see what I can do about being more consistent. Oh Jesus, being more consistent. I'm not making no promises, but I definitely want to you know, do a little better on the videos. This one's going to be pretty long because I went over the comparisons of the two bikes, which was a fairly long video, and then this video here is going to be fairly long too. So when I put them together, I'll try to cut it down as much as possible. Just cut out all the bullshit and, you know, keep the good stuff, I guess. But anyway, I'm about to turn on my road, and it's Sunday, so I'm about to get ready to start, you know, getting ready for tomorrow so I can go back to work and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna get off of here. Like I said before, you know, I appreciate y'all watching the videos. I just hope, you know, y'all think they actually worth watching. But I will talk to y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.